In order to eliminate natural marriage in society, it must first be rendered meaningless. Recent surveys done by Barna Research concluded that adultery, premarital sex, and cohabitation have basically become the new normal in America. In fact, according to the National Center for Health Statistics, 75% of Americans say it's okay to have children when parents are living together but not married. How did we get here? That's next. "50 years ago, a Gallup poll was done showing only 21% of Americans said premarital sex was acceptable. 68% said it was wrong. That was 1969. So, what happened to change the attitudes of people about marriage over 5 decades? Skyrocketing divorce rates among heterosexuals have added to the problem, as well as the increasing divorce rate among Christians. Did you know that since around the early 1960s, the divorce rate in America has increased over 100% to where now more than 1 out of every 2 marriages ends in divorce? That's right. Bisexual, pedophile, and sexologist Alfred Kinsey did much damage to people's healthy views of sex and marriage in the 1950s. Dig up the truth about Kinsey, not the Hollywood whitewashed version. Then there's Planned Parenthood's founding feminist, adulterer, and atheist Margaret Sanger, who promoted sexual freedom at a time when the word abortion was spoken about only in hushes and whispers. We've now reached the point where killing a baby in the womb is just another form of birth control. Then, a major cultural event happened 50 years ago, billed as 3 days of peace and music in White Lake, New York. Woodstock drew nearly 500,000 people in 1969. There were drugs, nudity, sex, rock and roll, and a lot of mud from the rain. It is widely regarded as a pivotal moment in pop music history and the peak of the hippie counterculture, ideas of rebellion against authority. Peace, love, sex, tolerance, and unity resonated throughout the country, very much like today's godless culture in which 2/3 of adults say it's a good idea to live with one's significant other before getting married. Kind of like taking a test drive. But one of the saddest findings to me is that almost half of professing Christians, 48% surveyed, they live with or have previously lived with their boyfriend or girlfriend. Christians. This makes me wonder if we're all reading the same Holy Bible. Now, we didn't see all the causes decades ago, but we're sure seeing some of the effects today. For example, a lesbian journalist named Masha Gessen literally has 3 kids who have 5 parents, and she admitted that homosexual activists were lying about their political agenda. She said, quote, "The institution of marriage is going to change, and it should change. And again, I don't think it should exist." You heard that right. Marriage shouldn't even exist. Up until the early 2000s, this is how Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary defined marriage. Quote, "The state of being married, the mutual relation of husband and wife. Wedlock, the institution whereby men and women are joined in a special kind of social and legal dependence for the purpose of founding and maintaining a family." Now, here's a modern definition for marriage. The state of being united as spouses in consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law, the mutual relation of married persons, any of the diverse forms of interpersonal union established in various parts of the world, including opposite-sex marriage, same-sex marriage, plural marriage, and arranged marriage. And finally, here's how Jesus defines marriage. Quote, "But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let not man separate." That's Mark 10, 6 through 9. In the late 1950s, very few couples lived together without being married, while today, the cohabitation rate for women, for example, prior to their first marriage, is around 70%. 70. Now, some of these stats are not just cultural indicators. These are judgments on the Christian church and our lack of moral influence in America. This must change. I'm David Fiorazo. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.